Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever, wherever you are watching this. My name is Marcus Octavius, and you are in the Foxhole. Another week is coming gone. Obviously, the big national news is coming out of Louisville, Kentucky. The judge's ruling being handed down. I'm not going to get into a whole big conversation about this. Like I said, I usually try to keep this list fairly about music and entertainment and things of that nature. I will say that I'm very hopeful that a peaceful outcome can be found sooner, preferably, but eventually one can be found. I hope for peaceful outcomes for this whole situation. It's a very big mess. Um, Seems like there's a lot of haves and have-nots and finger pointing and people making accusations. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I would ask those of you who are anti-march to please understand that these marches are happening for a reason. They may not be reasons you understand, but they are reasons that are, at least in my eyes, very much justified. Um, and that's sort of that. I don't want to get into a long spiel about it and occupy your time with this whole thing. But on to the business at hand. Next week is the live drumming class by yours truly. The Zoom link will be put up sometime this weekend. I'll also be reposting on my Facebook page and my Twitter page previous lectures that I have given. The last one I did was African versus Arabic drums. I also did one on advice for beginner entertainers and a drum circle etiquette lecture as well. And those are going to be reposted Facebook and Twitter in this particular week coming, the week of the 28th, if you will, of September. And of course, Saturday early afternoon is the class itself. Saturday, October 3rd. The Zoom class is going to be posted in the Facebook, excuse me, the Facebook event page. So please keep an eye out for that. Now on to the list. Real Life and One, A Perfect Circle, Mazzy Star, and the Smiths all jump back into the Foxhole. I do have some new music coming from a few Foxhole favorite artists, so please keep your eye out on that in the coming weeks. This particular week, I decided to cite some more alternative African American artists, as it were. One of which I stumbled upon, like I do many things, and her name is Melitia Vox, Baltimore alternative goth singer, and really sort of a big name in the Afro punk scene, the alternative African American scene. Apparently, she has a 4-octave range. Was actually classically trained in Baltimore. She was the lead singer of a group called Judas Priestess, a hard rock heavy metal band, which is where she sort of made her bones. She also cut her teeth in a band, Disciples of Astaroth. She's also been featured in several books, two of which, Black Rock Volume 1 and What Are You Doing Here? A Black Woman's Life and Liberation in Heavy Metal. So definitely a woman if you want to look up, musical or otherwise. Melitia Vox, Militia Vox. The next band, one particular member is black, is the a punk group that is very well known. If you've looked at any sort of self-identified punk or alternative individual, one of the patches, you've probably seen their patch, the symbol, just about everywhere, and that's the Dead Kennedys. 4 albums to their credit. Currently, or at least in the past few years, there's been an issue over some commercial rights and royalties, which has led to some of the members committing the lawsuits, which is very sad to hear for such a seminal work. A San Francisco-based punk outfit, sort of punk legends, if you will. They're considered one of the first true blue hardcore punk bands. Personally speaking, I hope they manage to get their legal issues out of the way and get back to making music, but if they're true blue punkers, then they're probably not. So dig up music on their 4 albums. Sure, you'll enjoy it. Suffragette is a New York City garage rock piece 2 albums to their credit, 1 EP, number of singles. They've gone on tour with Foxxhole favorites Local H and MC5 before. They also have a black female lead singer, a group that I found very interesting. They've been going long and strong since 2000, seem to be working the indie circuit pretty heavily. So, Suffragette, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Suffrajett. And our senior officer this week is a bit of a slight change of pace. And it's a name that I've heard off and on for years. And when I started listening to the music, I can understand why this person is so influential and why I had to put them on the list. And that's Robin Hitchcock out of Paddington, London, England. Considered an alternative folk individual. 12 solo albums to his credit with multiple other credits going all the way back to 1976. He was the lead singer of the Soft Boys, which is considered a sort of new wave act, a very early new wave act that rolled from 76 to 81. And in 81, Robin Hitchcock released one of his first of the 12 solo albums. He was also the lead singer of the Egyptians, which was a group he formed in 1984. And a very interesting fact here, he was also one of the members of a group Venus 3, which formed in 06, which featured Peter Buck of REM and Bill Reflin of Ministry. And I found that to be very interesting. It was sort of an odd mix there of, you know, a folk rocker, an alternative rocker, and an industrial rocker. Definitely a mixed bag going on there. So your senior officer of the week, alternative folk artist, dare I say legend, Robin Hitchcock. Please like, share, subscribe. All the links are down below, Facebook, Twitter, and my email. I'm Marcus Octavius. Enjoy the list.